99% of entrepreneurs might be full of shit. In fact, people might be listening to this and thinking I'm full of shit. But I've been in the space for a while now, and I've had so many deep late night talks with other entrepreneurs who are barely profitable. We're talking businesses doing like 150K, 500K, even a million a month, and they're not even keeping 10% of that. So I realized that for the first time, given how I was starting my agency in the Facebook ads for e-commerce businesses space. And so all of my ecom clients, I was thinking like they were balling. You know, I would see numbers like 100K days during Black Friday, Cyber Monday. But then what you don't see is that they're doing like 30K months all year round and before Q4. And that's at like 10%, if they're lucky, net profit margins. So they're barely keeping anything at the end of the month. So that was like my first realization. And the second one I had was when I started working with info product and coaching businesses, I thought this problem wouldn't happen because this is a very profitable business model and there's no way people can make something profitable unprofitable. And I was wrong. Like I met so many clients, one of which I had in mind, doing about 6 million a year, give or take. And he was at, let's just say 1.1 to 1.25 ROAS on the front end when we started working with them, which means he's making a 10 to 25% margin on ad spend. And they were all ad spend driven. It was literally like fully Facebook ads for this company. And that doesn't count all the payroll, of course, and all that kind of jazz. So he was barely keeping a few $100,000 off of $6 million in revenue. And I see this time and time again. Businesses who either hope to be profitable on the back end, whereas they don't even have a back end offer yet, or they're like in the midst of trying to figure it out, or businesses who have like 3 business partners, and so they sure make 100K a month in profit, split 3 ways, and so everybody walks away with 30K, so nobody makes crazy money. And I'd say having spent enough time in this space, it's like 80% of the people are not making a lot of money and they're not talking about it on social media. And then out of the people talking about it on social media, there's probably an 80% of that chunk who are honestly just either bluntly faking it, stealing case studies, which I've seen so many times, or talking of dramatically inflated revenue numbers. Like I met up with an entrepreneur the other day who, when he told me his revenue number, he then told me later on in that same conversation he had added sales taxes on top of the revenue. So he's going out telling people he's making X amount of money, whereas this also counts sales taxes he's charging his customers, which is just absolutely insane. So I now understand so much more when people say like profit, like what are you actually profiting at the end of the day? Because no matter what industry you're in as a business, truthfully, being an entrepreneur is hard. You carry a lot of risk and you carry a lot of pressure. You should be rewarded for that. And I think people have to be more careful about what they keep at the end of the day.